Hey guys, my name is Batumio, and today I wanted to take a look at a new game that just came out on Steam called Depths. This game is brilliant. At its core, it essentially pits 4 human divers against 2 sharks. When you're playing as the divers, it's your standard first-person shooter, yet set in the ocean. You have pistols, assault rifles, harpoon guns, and your job is to escort your little bot Steve as he collects gold and not get mauled in the face by the 2 shark players. I did not think that I needed this game in my life, but boy was I wrong after a couple of hours. They do a phenomenal job with this gameplay. Probably the best aspect about Depths, though, is the sense of anxiety and dread that you experience when playing as the diver. You have no idea where the sharks are going to be hitting you from. You have a heartbeat monitor that lets you know when they're nearby, but honestly, that just increases the anxiety that you feel. It's like, okay, the heartbeat monitor is going crazy right now. They haven't hit us. They're definitely right outside our room. What the hell is going on? The entire time, you're looking out into the void. You're using your flashlight to somewhat pierce the abyss, but at any given second, a shark could be right in your face, shredding you to pieces. It's phenomenal. What I love about it, though, is that it's entirely multiplayer driven. Someone is playing as that shark. Someone is causing the terror that I am feeling right now, and I don't think I've ever played a multiplayer game that has caused me to feel this amount of anxiety. Some of you might be thinking right now, okay, sure, for the first couple of rounds, I can see it being a little scary, but after that, you'll get acclimated to the game, you'll get adjusted, and it won't be scary anymore. And while I would agree with you, after, a couple of hours, it's not as terrifying as the very start, but even after my 5 hours of playing, I still have moments where I clench up. Usually it happens when I get separated from the group. I was collecting gold foolishly. I realized that my teammates and Steve is like a good 50 meters away, and the heartbeat monitor is freaking out. I'm sprinting as fast as I can. I know that I'm about to die any second now, and it captures the helplessness that you would experience if you were at the bottom of the ocean knowing that there was like 400 or 500 hungry sharks just circling around you. I can't stress it enough. I love this game right now. That being said, though, all this would be completely pointless if the combat was bad. Like, who cares what I'm feeling if the gameplay itself is terrible? Good thing, though, that is not a problem that Depths has in the slightest. When you're playing as the diver, as I mentioned, it's your standard first-person shooter. You have a wide array of weapons to choose from, but the twist on it and what makes it unique is that you need to have gold to buy these upgraded shiny new weapons. Steve, when he opens up a treasure, or he opens up one of these safes, will give you gold. So if you want to sit in the corner the entire time, you don't want to move away from the room and collect gold that's on the ground, you can do that, and you can still get some of the good weapons as you progress through the match. But if you want that shiny, awesome harpoon that has the potential to one-shot a shark, you need to go out and scavenge gold that's on the ground. And as soon as you do that, of course, that's going to leave you vulnerable to the sharks. It's this great risk-reward type of system that does incentivize you to go to the bottom of the ocean to plunder for booty, but as soon as you do that, you're leaving yourself vulnerable to an easy shark kill. This transitions perfectly into the way that sharks work. The way that they upgrade themselves, of course, they don't care about money, but when they get a kill, it gives them 1 customization point. They can spend that point right at the start. They can use it on a very weak upgrade, or they can save it up for something a little bit more special. Maybe they want to thicken up their skin so they don't take as much damage. Maybe they will regenerate some health after they get a kill. There's a wide array of customization, and it all revolves around getting as many kills as you possibly can. This does lead to my first critique, and it is a small one, and that is that it can turn into a snowball effect. If you have 2 shark players that know what they're doing and they're going on a rampage, it's gonna be very difficult for the divers to get a foothold and survive for more than just a couple of minutes. Because they're just constantly mauling your face off, well, it gives them more and more power, and if you're not able to get gold yourself and to try to counter that, they're turning into these behemoths that are basically unstoppable. I mean, I've had rounds that have ended very, very quickly. I should mention that the way that you win in this game is if you're playing as a shark, you want to kill all of the divers until they have no respawns left and there's no dives left. You only get 30 respawns for both sides. If you're playing as the divers, you want to either escort Steve throughout the entire labyrinth, getting all of the gold, and then bring him back to the docks. That is one way that you can win. Or you can just simply kill the sharks continuously until they're out of respawns. And so So the result of this system is that some rounds are just dominated by one side. I don't know what their matchmaking system is like. I don't even know if they have a large enough player count to enforce a robust ranking system, but I do know that every so often I am paired with a few divers that are clearly new, which is acceptable. This is a new game, but they do foolish things. They swim out in the open, they begin to feed the sharks, they get stronger, you're still getting gold, you're still doing your thing, but they get to this point where they're a juggernaut and the round ends very quickly, simply because they do turn into these behemoths. Playing as the sharks, though, is a hell of a lot of fun, and you need to be smart about your tactics. One of my teammates, we weren't communicating over voice comms or anything like that, but I noticed that he was slamming into a wall. There are some objects that you can destroy. Like if you're a shark and you want to open up a different route for you to flank on in, you can do that, but it causes a huge ruckus. As soon as my teammate started slamming his face against the wall, I noticed that the entire diver team was looking in that direction. They wanted to know what was going on. They wanted to not get blindsided. And ironically, that allowed me to come in from a completely different angle, slam right into one of them without anyone realizing I was there. I took hardly any damage, and honestly, these are the type of tactics that come standard when you're playing as the shark. I also quickly realized that patience is a virtue when playing as a shark. A lot of the safes that Steve is going to be breaking into are in small enclosed areas. They're in small little rooms that could have a lot of openings, but as soon as you get in there, you're probably going to dash into a wall, leaving yourself very vulnerable to harpoons or to the pistols or the assault rifles. And so if you're having a hard time getting into that fortified location, just wait for Steve to move on over to the next location. They, of course, need to swim out in the open for a couple of seconds, and as long as you take advantage of that window, you're gonna get a guaranteed free kill. I love that the game, while can be very fast-paced, there can be moments where you're just constantly in the action, ripping people apart, it also has a very methodical or tactical approach that I really appreciated. My biggest critique, though, is that this is a $25 game, but with only one game mode. There are a wide selection of maps to choose from, but the fact that there's only one mode leads me to believe that after maybe 10 hours of playtime, I mean, I'm still enjoying it right now, but I can see after 10 hours, I'm like, okay, I've had my fun, I'm gonna move on to something else. And for a lot of people, $25, 10 hours, that is a good deal. And I would say that that is a good deal, but you should know going into this, if this game does sound intriguing, that at least right now, there is only this one simple game mode. I am crossing my fingers that maybe in the next couple of weeks or months they will start to dish out some free content for this game. I mean, this is an indie dev, and I find that great indie developers are constantly updating their game with free content. Who knows, maybe Depths is one of those titles, but at least right now you should know that there is only this one good game mode, but only one of them. But yeah, guys, that is about it for my little impressions of Depth. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you think about this game. Do you enjoy playing as the shark, the divers? Do you like the way that the game captures that sense of helplessness or terror for the first couple of rounds? Let me know down below. But until tomorrow, have a good one and take it easy.